Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the class. Today we are learning the poem The Professor by Nissim Ezekiel. This poem is written as a monologue, which means only one person speaks and the listener does not get a chance to reply. In this poem, the professor meets an old student and starts talking proudly about his family, health, and the changes in the world. Let's understand the poem so you can follow it clearly. Now let's look at line 1 to 3. Let me give explanation for this. The professor meets his old student and asks if he remembers him. He explains that he used to teach geography. He says he is retired now. His health is fine, but his wife passed away a few years ago. Moving on to the lines 4 through 10. Let me give explanation for this. He happily tells the student that all his children are well settled. One is a sales manager, one is a bank manager, and both own cars. He says the other children are doing okay but not as successful. Then he jokes that every family has a black sheep, someone who doesn't do well. Now let's read lines 11 to 15. Let me give explanation for this. He says his daughters Sarala and Tarala are married and their husbands are very nice boys. He proudly adds that he has 11 grandchildren. When he hears the student has only 3 children, he says that's good because these days people follow family planning. Now let's understand lines 16 to 21. Let me give explanation for this. He talks about how the world is changing. He says India is also improving and humorously says our progress is progressing. Old values are disappearing and new values are coming quickly, happening with leaps and bounds. Now let's move to line 22 to 27. Let me give explanation for this. He says he rarely goes out because that's part of old age. He talks about small aches and pains, but proudly says he has no major diseases like diabetes, blood pressure. He believes his good health comes from his good habits in youth. He asks the student about his health and is happy to know that he is fine. Finally, let's look at the lines 28 to 36. Let me give explanation for this. He says he is 69 and hopes to live up to 100 a century. He jokes that the student was once thin like a stick, but is now a man of importance. He invites the student to visit his simple house, which is behind the opposite house. So, students, the professor is a humorous and realistic poem that shows how Indian elders talk proudly about their family, their health, and the changes in the society. It also highlights the funny, typical Indian English style of speaking. Now, let's see what is the moral of the poem. The poem teaches us that people often talk more about themselves than listening to others. True communication require balance. If this explanation helped you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next lesson. Until then, bye.